Hey there, boils and ghouls. Welcome to this week's episode of Hollow Weekly. Nick here with Trevor. We're continuing our journey through watching Wrong Turn the Wrong Way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We are now coming at you live with Wrong Turn 3.
Live on tape.
Live on tape. That should be Wrong Turn 3, live on tape.
Live on tape.
For only 4 easy payments of $19.99.
May I have your attention, please?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I don't know what to feel anymore.
Horror. Something even more terrible than you.
Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead.
Yes. Unrated.
Unrated. Because the rated version is garbage.
It's gotta be.
The rated version.
I don't think there is a rated version, to be honest.
Yeah, I always wondered.
I don't think there is.
It was like, what did they add to this one?
I don't think they.
A lot of digital blood and stuff, which I want to ask you about later.
I don't think it's rated. So yeah.
All right. So if you're new to this series, we've been watching Wrong Turn the Wrong Way. Just trying to see if we can piece together a story.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just thought it'd be interesting because I feel like most podcasts, they start from one and work their way up, and I just kind of figured, why the hell not? Let's just work backwards. Also, I've never seen anything past Wrong Turn 1, so it was sort of like a greedy endeavor of giving us an excuse to go through this franchise. Like I was telling Trevor during this one, I don't think I've seen all the Fridays.
No.
I think there's a Nightmare I haven't seen. Okay, I know which one I haven't seen, and it's going to pain the listeners for this because it's a horror podcast. I've never seen New Nightmare.
Ooh. Okay.
But I'm going to see every single Wrong Turn come the end of May.
It's almost like a reward because if you start at the beginning. Like as far as I know, I remember it's good. It's
very good.
It's a good film. But then once you watch that and you start watching the second and third, like it's diminishing returns. So by the time you get to 5 or 6, maybe you're just like, I'm out.
It's like a reward.
But this way, it's like the other way. You have to get through all of them, and then your reward is
then you're at the Mecca.
The good one.
You're right.
You reward yourself.
So that's the theory.
Yes.
Working backwards. Now let me ask you: do you feel like they've been getting better?
No. No, they sure aren't.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
No, they sure aren't.
They all had different, very, I would say almost drastic different qualities about them.
Yes. Yeah.
Even these last 3. I mean, this is the first installment, the Declan O'Brien trilogy.
Yes, though.
Doing 3, 4, and 5. Yes, rest in power.
Yeah.
So they have. You don't believe they've. Our theory so far of like it gets better has been bupkis right now.
No. Yeah, because I think when you look back, his fifth one was actually pretty good. In comparison.
I was gonna.
The fifth one is actually pretty good compared to this one. This one for sure.
And we were comparing.
This one was a rough one. I think the last one was pretty rough too. I think.
But I do think 4 was a little bit better than this one.
5 was better, and then 6 was a different guy, but that one also had its moments.
So we were comparing the Declan O'Brien Wrong Turn trilogy to like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, great trilogies.
Yes.
And I do think by the end of it, because we were saying that 4 was going to be his New Hope.
Yeah.
And because it takes place in the snow, kind of reminded me of a little Battle of Hoth situation there.
Yeah. It was not.
I think it was pretty close to how the second in the trilogy would go.
Yes.
A little bit better. Did this one feel like his New Hope or his Fellowship of the Rings?
I mean, it could be the New Hope, and then like the next 2 were like Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Because it was like a sequel, and then he went to prequel.
Oh, he also did throw that curveball.
Yeah.
Into the Wrong Turn.
I'm not sure how he was pitching this stuff. I don't know how he was getting the Wrong Turn green light. It's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a sequel. The next 2, I'm gonna do prequels.
Yeah, it's.
And they're like, yes.
I will say it's normally with a lot of them they're just A to B to C to D. It's very very easy. But this one is you get like Wrong Turn. I don't know where Wrong Turn 2 lands. I don't know where that takes us in time. I'm not very sure.
Yeah.
Wrong Turn 3 is. I'm guessing because we're piecing this together as we go.
I think
backwards.
it's 1, 2, 3.
It's 1, 2, 3, and then 2 goes. Is a prequel?
4 goes prequel.
4 goes to the prequel.
5 goes prequel.
5 goes prequel.
5 supposedly takes you up to
right before the events of 1.
Yeah, supposedly. And then 6 is a reboot. And then 7 was a reboot / sequel, I think.
And then we had just completely different remake.
That's 7, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is, I don't know what that is.
Even having walked me through that right now, I'm still
No
slightly,
idea.
I'm still slightly confused. And so we're on the third one. We only have 2 and then 1, which, if I remember correctly, is fantastic and absolutely
Yeah.
love it. What do you make of this franchise so far?
I mean, it feels like it would be more simpler to make these movies.
Right.
Like, keep it simple, stupid. Like they say.
Right.
But like, for some reason, they keep messing them up. Like, I know we keep saying they're like they have their moments, which they do.
Yeah.
But it's also like there's a lot of like weird things that you can tweak or fix. Like you were talking about the music, remember?
Right.
Like simple things like some good music would really elevate this movie.
Yeah. So what Trevor's talking about is there's a scene at pretty much, I think, like the beginning of the third act of this movie.
Yeah.
Like where the hillbilly mutant is dragging this woman by the hair, and for some reason, I think it must have been like an instrument or something like that in like the actual movie, reminding me of like those Harry Manfredini like Friday the 13th stabby kind of scores, like dun dun dun, and I.
That
Remember, yeah. What's funny is like it made this movie made me appreciate the Friday soundtrack, which I've never. That's a new experience. I've never had watched a movie and thought, man, if it only had this, it'd be better. Yeah. Oh, actually, I never really thought about that music. It's really good. Now I appreciate it in a different way. I was thinking that while we were getting set up, like, because I don't want to like they're not like, are they the best movies in the world? Absolutely not. But like, I'm not here to shit on a movie. It's hard to make a movie.
Yeah.
And so I'm weighing like, I'm weighing like, because also I don't want to. But to be fair, I don't want to fall into that trap of being like, oh, it's just a fun, B movie. So like, I'm trying to figure out, where does this movie land? Is it the shitty B movie?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know what to.
Yeah, I always, when I watch these, I'm always like, well, in like 20 years, are like my son or whoever gonna grow up and watch these movies? But, I love these shitty B movies, like we do with like 70s movies and 80s movies and 60s movies that are really shitty too, but they have a like certain quality to them that we kind of gravitate towards. So it's always, like, it's hard to watch them because I'm always just like, nah, because some of those still had like something to them,
right?
But maybe the Wrong Turn movies will be somebody's like, these movies are really bad, but I love them type of movies.
Yeah, I was thinking about like when people get together to watch like a Birdemic or a Sharknado, like they get together to watch them because they're like really, really bad on purpose. But like these aren't on purpose.
No,
they're
really trying.
Yeah, and like
I feel like they're trying.
Okay.
I feel the attempt.
Yes, like none of the actors, like again, you're not gonna get like the Oscar-winning performance out of a Wrong Turn, but like you could tell they gave it some oomph. Yeah, is the oomph good? No, but they gave it. So I can't describe. Like, could I do better at acting? Fuck no. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know how to balance it. Like, it's not good, but it's not bad. It's a great effort. Yeah, I don't know what that. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know. Well,
that's like with the Birdemic and those types of movies. Sharknado. I don't like those movies because they're so like, look how bad we are.
Right.
And so it's like, well, like these people are trying and like they made a bad movie by mistake. Or it's like you try to make the best movie you can. You don't set out to make a bad movie because usually if you do that, it's just like even worse than.
Right.
Like if you try to make like I always think of Hobo with a Shotgun. I'm not a big fan of that movie because it's like it's mimicking the style, but it's like tongue in cheek and like it's like a comedy instead of just playing it straight, which the movies it's making fun of does. So if you play it straight and just happened to be like that type of movie, then it would have been 10 times better.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a really weird.
But if you're winking at the camera at the audience constantly, it's a little like. It's not as fun, not as good.
I think what I'm having the most problem with is the biggest problem is that like each of them are just again. It's also probably because Ding Dong we're watching it backwards. So, like I'm sure that doesn't help at all. But even sitting here having watched the majority of them, piecing it together forwards doesn't seem to make much sense either.
None of it makes any sense because so many people go missing.
Yeah.
And like by the next movie, though, it's like meh. like nobody's like looking for any of these cops that have been. There's so many cops have been killed.
Right.
Like how do you like be like, where'd the entire sheriff's department go? I don't know. Maybe we should go camping over here.
They're all missing.
Yeah, it's like the entire sheriff's department was killed during this one, and the one like in the fifth one, and yeah, it's like.
Yeah, they always wipe out.
But then they're always like constantly confused that when like a hillbilly pops out of nowhere and shoots them with something.
Yeah,
There's
a
like,
bow and arrow flies by. And they're like, what is this? This couldn't have happened in this place where people were killed by bows and arrows.
Yeah, it's like
and mutant freaks.
It's like everybody goes like this like group of teenagers, like group of kids go missing, and this one is like I don't know what happened. It's like guess what? Like it's like a bunch of hillbillies killed them.
Right.
Because it's what happens in your fucking district.
Yeah. Maybe it's because we don't get enough hillbilly mutant lore.
I think so too.
You know, Nightmare. They talk about Fred Krueger, Jason. You hear about him in the first movie, and they just keep rehashing, saying the name.
Yeah.
But this one they don't really ever.
Nah, I would love to see them turn him into like some sort of like almost like anti-hero, like
That'd be sick.
like type of just like these superhuman like hillbilly like just like beings. They're almost like almost like Michael Myers, which is like. They just like appear and they never die, and it's never explained why. It's just that's what this.
Well, they already have superhuman abilities. Like they can get.
That's right.
Because like they could, I think they could teleport.
And I think they even said that too because they're really intelligent.
Oh yeah, and the one where they're in the institution, they're like they're so smart, and they're like licking the walls.
Yeah, it's like they're eating their own tongue.
Hold up, why are you doing that?
What smart people do.
Listen. Einstein used to, when he wasn't making bombs, he was licking walls.
Yeah, yes.
I took some notes throughout the movie.
Right,
I
cool.
like to kind of hit some of the big touchstones. The one consistent thing with all the wrong turns so far is that there are boobs within the first 2 minutes. There's always nudity.
Declan has an auteur theory, and it's boobs within the first 30 seconds of the movie.
He was
His
like,
auteur theory is
that'll
like,
get butts and seats.
That's right.
That's on
That's on IMDb. It says his signature is boobs. It just says boobs real big.
He's the titty man.
Yes.
The one thing I liked about this movie is that they have some just gorgeous model, and then her boyfriend comes over and he's like total geek squad. He's just like, hey honey,
hey Ernie.
She's like, do you think I'm a slow? He's like, that's why I like you. I also fix computers. So there is some action. Kind of early in the movie, we do get some cars rolling off cliffs.
Yeah, we got the bus.
It
It rolls down a hill.
Yeah.
It's a steep hill.
And here's my thing with this franchise. This is why I'm so confused. Because, even shooting, a bus full of prisoners going crazy off a road, then rolling downhill on no budget,
Yeah.
that's a hard thing to pull off, man.
And from what we could tell, it's practical. It's like an actual...
It looked like an actual bus somewhere just, kind of hitting the guardrails.
Because I'm pretty sure it looked real. We'd notice if it was fake.
Yeah, well, there's times where they cut to the driver talking, and it looks, like the old Hitchcock people driving.
Yeah, it's not even.
It's not even that
worse.
good.
Yeah,
it's clearly just like a green screen.
It looks like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yes, it looks like a Saturday Night Live sketch. So when you see the
Toonses.
Yeah,
I think even Toonses is better than that.
Yeah, and they keep cutting to an actual bus. So that's the weird part I'm having with this franchise. They keep, right when you think they're just these cheap, shitty movies, they throw in actual gruff and some know-how and take chances on something.
It was probably one of the things was you can either have driving sequences on actual roads or you can flip the bus.
You always flip the bus.
Flip the bus, I
guess. You gotta flip the bus. When you got no budget, you gotta flip the bus.
Yeah, flip the bus.
And this movie does follow. I was telling Trevor before, and I gotta find this, and if I do, I'll put it in the show notes. There was a Roger Ebert list of movie roles of the just things that have to happen, and I can't remember off the top of it, but I remember it being a lot and reading through it and there's quite a few here. One of them I am almost certain is on this list, and that is if there's any sort of fire in a car, it has to blow up.
Yes.
And we get how many? We get the bus. I think another car at one point.
I think the car at the end.
Yeah.
Somehow his the magical tow truck he drives around.
Oh yeah.
Tom's Towing. I don't know what that's. It's like such an unoriginal name for
Right.
it. Is the hillbilly's vehicle of choice?
The explosions though,
It's all like pre-CG.
it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean they had a couple stunts in the last couple too. They were pretty good. I think it was that fifth one again. The fifth one had that where they ran into the tree.
Oh yeah.
That was a pretty good.
Yeah.
They had some good stuff in that one.
There was great explosions.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, maybe by that time, maybe he'd learned what's going on.
Right.
That's why like 3, 4, 5, he gets a little better. So maybe he was just like
like the
cutting his
second
teeth.
one gets better, but then it just falls into the trilogy territory where the third one's never as good as the second one.
Yeah.
You know, he hit. That's what I'm curious. I wonder if they hit the actual benchmarks of how most trilogies are. This film, I will say, does make the fault of there's no wrong turns. We're back to that. The last one they made a wrong turn, and we were so thrilled. We were like, hell yeah, this is. It must have been. It wasn't the fourth. It was the fifth one where they stopped making wrong turns. But no,
When did they make a wrong turn in the fourth one?
all I remember is they did it, and it happened.
Oh yeah, in the snow. Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's right.
Where do we go? Let's go this way.
Oh, let's look at this big mansion over here. Let's
Yeah,
go over
that
there.
looks comfy.
We're lost. Maybe
Hey.
we should find. Okay, go over there.
Let's go over there with the lights.
It's
So they don't make a wrong turn, which is that's a bummer. Give her the title.
if anything, the hillbillies make them wreck.
Yeah,
Like I think it's they go out of their way.
yeah. They go in front. Well, him. I guess it's they at that point. Like there's multiple. Drives in front of the bus with the barbed wire.
Yeah. So it's like it's not even a wrong turn. They're actively
Yeah.
stopping people.
They weren't like, hey, which way to the prison? Left. It's
No.
right.
No, no.
Like they just. This should be wrong turn 3, flat tire.
Yeah.
Is more like it. But so they didn't make a wrong turn. That's fine. I forgive them because at least this one takes place at night in the woods.
Yes.
The whole movie takes place during the duration of like they're just trying to make it till dawn.
Yeah, it's like 6-7 hours.
And I always like it when a movie tells you how long you're about to be here for.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be here for just a period of time, and that's gonna be the movie.
As soon as you see the sun coming up,
It's
about done.
I don't know. I just kind of I like when people put themselves in a box and they're
Yeah.
okay, we definitely have to make it. And also like some other movies you try to calculate the time. You're like, that doesn't make much sense. But in a movie like this, you're like, until the sun comes up,
Yeah.
we're there. Earlier in the movie, this is funny. You brought this up as soon as the character got knocked off, and I just thought it was hilarious. In this movie, it starts in the prison, or it starts with college kids getting killed, and then it cuts to a prison where we have our main characters who are gonna escort the prisoners from point A to point B. They introduce an undercover cop.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell the audience what happens? What the payoff is for the undercover cop?
Well, the thing is, like, they're doing this like, surprise prison transfer because this guy named Chavez is going to be broken out of prison. So then they're going to put this undercover cop on the bus as well and tie him right next to Chavez. So he tells them all of his secrets because that's what they do, I guess. so this is like I guess this is the setup for like the transfer, but like once shit goes sideways and then everybody's in the woods trying to fend for their lives and they're walking away, like this undercover cop, he never pulls a badge, never like pulls that card at all, and he gets murdered and like with nothing else. That's it. He just gets murdered and that's it. Not even at the end, they like nobody shows up and be like, hey, where's our guy at? Or nothing. He just gets murdered and that's it. Makes zero sense. So his payoff that he's an undercover cop doesn't even make any fucking sense.
There's no.
He gets his face ripped off, which is nice. But
There is a handful of, and I saw a tweet earlier about this that I think it was like 2002 was the year for people to get sliced and diced, only to have the body parts slowly peel apart.
yeah,
This movie gave us a couple of those.
there was a couple. Yeah,
There was the guy who fell into the booby trap, and it was almost like he had the 3 wires kind of cut through him, and he got cut into threes.
Yes.
And it's like that. He takes that 1 second to be like, "Oh
And he
shit!" And he falls like sliced apples or something. Like
Yeah.
it's just a weird visual. And then our undercover cop, same thing happens to him. A big scythe, whoosh, right across the face.
Yeah.
And then he's like, one Mississippi 2, and slides off like cheese on a pizza.
Yeah, that was like the worst. That was the CG. That was pretty bad CG.
Oh,
His face.
anytime they did that effect, it was
rough,
questionable. But that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, because this took place, or this was filmed in 2009. I noticed, especially in the last ones, there was a lot of digital blood, but this one kind of stood out the most. It looked like they were still trying to figure out how to make digital blood look, any good. I thought it stood out, but like I thought it added some charm to it.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. You know what I mean? Because like. Why did you feel the same way?
Nah,
just straight up.
I mean, it was fine. It doesn't like it's one of those things that doesn't really bother me anymore.
Right.
You can kind of like, it's like, well, they used what they had.
Right.
Type of thing, because they had some good practical stuff too. Like that stuff at the beginning with Booze McGee getting one like through the air through the boob.
Right.
And then she got her eye popped out, but they didn't like try to like show it. Mm-hmm. It was just like, and it's like. It was like with a cut,
right?
Like old school. It was like, and then like you just see the eye popped out. And
they mixed
the arrow. I was like, ah.
They had a really healthy mix,
which I enjoy.
Right.
Like just do it with a cut, which is like just as effective.
I think it gave us enough of that. So
I think the booby shot was kind of CG and it's regular.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
The eyeball. Anytime somebody, that's another rule. If an eyeball comes out of a socket.
He's got to eat it.
Someone's got to eat that bitch.
Always.
Yeah, and it's always gonna gross me out because I could just imagine like popping like a.
I always picture Summer School. Did you ever see Summer School?
No.
Okay.
What's that?
Mark Harmon's a teacher. And he has to teach summer school.
Oh.
And there's two kids in the class that are like these horror fanatics, and they do makeup effects.
Oh, that's cool.
And they did one with an eyeball, and he the one guy takes it. It's like a pencil through the eye. And he like at the end, like once he's like the gag is revealed, he like pops the eyeball out and just starts eating it.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
This guy's name is Chainsaw and Dave.
Oh, that's a cool name. I like that. Speaking of the practical though, I thought there were some pretty cool deaths in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun.
The one of the more notable ones was the casting of the barbed wire net. Yes. Just a netting made of all barbed wires. I thought that looked great.
Yeah.
And it looked like it hurt. Like you kind of, we were saying, like it needs to be more Saw.
Yeah.
you know, I thought it looked painful. I thought the effect was cool, and then it's followed up by our hillbilly mutant driving, and then he's lowered the whatever he's hung up by.
Because it's the back. Because the back of his tow truck.
Right. And so it's like lowered, and his face is just scraping the ground. It kind of reminded me of one of the deaths in Cocaine Bear, that made the whole audience groan.
Really?
And I felt the same. Well, yeah, someone's in the back of it. They're tied down to it. Spoiler alert for Cocaine Bear for anyone if you haven't seen it. Someone's in the back of an ambulance tied down. The back doors are open, and then the Cocaine Bear,
jumps in,
fucks him up. The car crashes or something like that. The person slides out and then falls face first, strapped down to a chair, and it kind of reminded me of that. And I was like, it's a real stomach turner, man.
Certain things.
It always that will always give any kind of face grinding.
Yeah.
That's always gonna get me. But I thought that looked great. We also got, on top of explosions, car crashes. This movie's getting the most bang for its buck. We get a man on fire.
Yes, we did. He hurts that was another one where you kind of like groaned because he gets he's on like these rocky.
Oh yes.
He's on these rocky
They find
river.
So these convicts, they find they're all chained together. They find a tipped over like bank van or something like that full of money. Armored truck in the middle of the thing that no one retrieved, full of money.
Nobody came looking for it.
And so there's Chavez, and then there's just this racist dude, like a Nazi almost. I think he had like some tattoos on his neck.
He was Nazi.
He goes to shenanigans happen. Wrong turn. You could figure it out. The hillbillies killing him. They're all running away. The racist Nazi guy grabs the money, jumps down from like a little rock, and you just hear crunch in his leg, and that always gets. I can never see someone do that and not wince.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I see my kids running on rocks like that and be like, "Oh, don't!"
Oh,
one step, like one little step. And it's even like tiny rocks, like little anything. It's like one little thing, and that's it, man. That foot's gonna be.
Oh my god, no, that makes me cringe.
But you're like, 5, 6. You don't care.
It's like Invincible.
You don't even think. Yeah, yeah.
At
Like,
that point. But so his ankle crunches. He's in pain, and then not long after he gets caught on fire.
yeah, yeah. The hillbilly guy. What's his name? The giggly guy.
Bubbles.
Yeah, Bubbles hillbilly. Yeah, he like throws a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And he seemed like when they showed him too, he seemed like he was right on top of him, and he just kind of like threw it.
Yeah,
He didn't even throw it from like far away.
no 3-finger.
3-finger. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't remember any like close-ups of his hands to be like.
No, they never.
He's got 3 fingers. He's always the bald one.
Yeah, he's the giggly one.
He's the giggly one with the long, strangly, white hairs.
The other ones are just interchangeable.
That's the other thing. So that's why I'm trying when I say like where do we place this franchise? I cannot remember which mutant hillbilly is except for the one.
Mm-hmm.
I always know who he is because he's always front and center. But then there's just 2 lurch looking kind of guys.
This one was just the one guy, and he got all bent out of shape because the little mutant kid got killed. And that's what set him off to kill the rest of them. But he was going to kill them all anyway, so I don't understand.
Yeah,
what
he
was
was
like.
To him, they were just good eats. Like they were gonna.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to feel bad for him, but like when I told you, I was like, I don't feel bad for this guy. He's fucking murdering people. Like they're all murdering each other. I was like, why am I supposed to be rooting for somebody? I don't understand.
Yeah, like Chavez was fighting
the Nazi guy. I was like, how am I supposed to? And then he fought the redneck guy. I was like, what am I doing?
right.
Who do I want to die?
Yeah, the only person I really want, like, I was actually rooting for Chavez. Kind of
towards the end, you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, like I was waiting for the Nazi guy to get it, who
Yeah.
got burnt to death with the Molotov cocktail, which was so good looking. Like he's on fire for a hot minute too.
Yes.
And not only that, before he gets caught on fire and breaks his ankle, he gets the shit beat out of him by Chavez.
Just by punching.
By beating the shit out of him. And I'll be honest, the first we were laughing because at one point in time they're throwing punches, and I swear to God, Chavez does like, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like the way like strongmen would punch in a film in like the 40s where they
What's I think it's called something too. What is it? Like the double,
where you clasp
Yeah.
both your hands together and hit someone at the same with both your hands together.
old wrestlers do it too.
Yes.
That was an old wrestler move too, I think.
Whatever that is, he hits him.
It's like a double, like I forget what
A
it's
wham
called.
bam Charlie.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah.
When
A Sakamadoo or something.
Yeah,
like
he hits him with one of those, and the fight starts off pretty cheesy. Like it looks like just a B movie. They maybe rehearsed a couple punches.
Maybe, yeah.
But then the second half of the fight, I thought it was really good. Like it felt like they were actually whooping the shit out of each other.
I felt like it escalated really quickly.
Yes.
Because once he's down on the ground, he's instantly smashing his face into like oblivion. I'm like, that's quick.
Yeah, and it got really brutal. He just punches the Nazi guy into a bloody pulp, and so when he's walking around with the bags, his face is just like mutilated almost, and it looked good. Like it looked painful.
And you're just like, can you murder this guy already?
Yeah, but him dying in the fire was a really poetic.
I feel like it should have been more painful. I feel like he should have gotten like the wire. Well, that guy was pretty bad too. The guy with the barbed wire thing.
Yeah.
That guy was really annoying.
Because they were both just like kind of nasty.
He was kind of like
just saying real nasty things to the woman. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing too. Like it was just like everything was just like fuck you. Yeah, fuck you too, fuck motherfucker. I was like, can we maybe get a little like I'm not like a prude or anything. It was like just maybe be a little more clever. Be a little more clever with your taunt or
and
whatever.
anytime they mention the woman, it's about like fucking her and then shooting her and then leaving her.
Yeah,
and I'm like
this bitch. And I was like,
okay,
let's calm down, guys. Let's tone it down. Dude.
Yeah, that part was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was just like, come on.
I feel the same way.
I joked it was going to be 3 hours of just that.
Yeah, the unrated director's cut. The extra one is just 3 hours of live footage. Yes. Them just walking.
Oh, these were prisoners just like hounding this lady the entire time.
Let's see.
That's like a Lars von Trier style. Wrong term.
Chavez, the way he gets it, I thought was not too bad. So he gets caught up in a fight with the hillbilly.
3 fingers.
Sorry. Let me put some respect on that name.
That's right.
Chavez gets in a fight with 3 fingers.
That's right.
Shoots him once. That gun finally runs out of bullets.
Yeah, he throws at him.
We were
obviously.
joking. The shotgun in this movie has infinity bullets.
Yeah.
It's an actual like the movie starts. You don't actually see this, but before the movie starts, someone's on the side putting in a cheat code. Like a video game. There's like GTA, just unlimited ammo.
Yeah.
The shotgun, they shoot it. You don't ever see anyone reload in a movie. And listen, I get that asking for people to reload in a Wrong Turn movie is a
Yeah.
I get that's a tall order. Okay, I understand that. But like, do something, man. Like this shotgun, they just shoot it off like 1,000 times, and it's like no sweat. They could just, like, in fact, it looks like Master Chief at one point. Just
Yeah. Well, this thing too, it's like it never really like comes into play any other way, so it doesn't really matter if they have it or not half the time, really.
Right.
Like it doesn't like show up at the end, or like it doesn't really like play a part. So it's like
No.
them having it doesn't really make much sense anyway.
No, they kind of shoot three fingers on top of the. Well, he's on top of the truck during the big chase at the end.
Yeah, but like.
That's it. It's just
That could be like, oh, we have one bullet
anything.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, but
So Chavez fighting three fingers. He happens to have the one last bullet, lands it, doesn't phase three fingers at all.
no.
Which
of course not.
That's the other hard part is like. I understand. Like, obviously, by piecing it together backwards, they're super strong. They're apparently super smart. I don't know. I don't know why it just feels weird, man. I don't know why. You tell me Jason Voorhees is invincible, fine, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me Freddy Krueger can't die in the dream or whatever, fine, I believe it. But for this one, I don't know why. It's just so hard for my brain to register because they look like they should just be normal.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they're not supernatural. I know he's saying they're supernatural,
But they are.
but they are. But nobody like in like 5 or 6, they should just be like, look, these guys.
Guess what? Everything you thought.
Yeah, it's like
it's true.
Yeah, it's like with like Halloween. It's just like, oh, he's just pure evil.
Right.
Boom.
And there we are.
Explained for like 8 movies.
There
like,
we are.
That's all you need. The simplest way. Just like I don't know why.
I think the lack of, I don't know, any effort into it sucks the fun out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if they did explain something like that, I think the funness that should be in a cheesy B horror movie, then it's there.
Yes.
And I think that's sort of one of the things we're talking about was like, if you just put in that effort in the writing,
just a little bit of effort.
a little bit, like it would make what you had, the budget you had, the crew you had, shine a lot brighter.
Yeah, it's like take maybe like a page and a half of that, like fuck you, you fucking bitch. Like dialogue, take some of that stuff out and just put some,
Just
something in for three
something.
fingers or something.
Just a little something.
Just something.
But hey, that's why that's part of the interest because we've been piecing this together backwards.
Yeah.
Maybe in Wrong Turn 2 we'll get that.
Maybe.
And if we do, I do think I will feel differently about Wrong Turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
So do we think that's going to happen?
Yeah, because it hasn't quite gone off the rails yet.
So
like 4 goes off the rails, kind of.
Right.
It's a prequel, but like 3 is still like within 2 and 1's logic. So
we there's what I'm saying is there's a chance that we watch 2 and it fills all the cracks in that we need, and then like all of a sudden like because obviously if we had watched it forward we would know that by now. But that's the fun of piecing it. We're putting on our little detective hats and seeing what we can piece from 2. And I think maybe there's a sliver of hope.
Maybe. Yeah, because maybe he's still pissed about 1 and 2. That's
the
why
viewers who've seen this know.
Oh yeah.
They know we don't know. What a real Hitchcock move.
Ooh.
The audience knows we don't.
They're like the bomb under the table.
So there was a lot of cool action. They had some cool explosions. The one thing that we thought was funny was in the third act they introduce like this big German Shepherd. And every time he goes to attack someone, the character's forearm
gets huge.
Like they just, it's obviously padding so they don't get bit by the dog.
Yes.
Duh. But it's just like, it is a comically transformation, a big transformation of forearm size. It is huge.
Yeah, it goes from like having a coat on.
Yeah.
It's like a prisoner guard, but then next thing you know, he's on the ground. His arm is just like a coat.
It looks like Hellboy.
Yeah, exactly.
The one
like,
arm is humongous.
Basically.
And it's just like, they shot it at night, so hopefully you don't see it, and it doesn't look awful, but it's enough to just take out like a sore thumb. Just kind of a funny thing,
What's another thing I keep complaining about these movies is like they're really like lit up. Like it does take place at night, but like everything is still so bright for some reason.
Right.
Like you could just That's how you disguise that type of stuff. Is you crank down the fucking lights, or like, and like you wouldn't see that as much.
Yeah,
And it's just like the way it's shot, like that type of stuff. It's
and
like,
that's usually an old horror staple.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we have zero budget, so this
turn down.
This dude's about to be dark.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one, they were like, they had the they took the prisoners on a full moon.
Yeah, yeah, basically, because like every time you like, sometimes you just see the top of the trees just like lit up. I'm like, that's not the moon.
This is the brightest forest I've ever
It's a
seen.
fucking like 4K or whatever.
Do you think this is because we were talking that going backwards, they should all be getting better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
You do not believe that the third is the best one that we've seen so far. You would think that. Am I correct to say that 4 has been your favorite, or 5?
I think 5.
Okay, 5.
5 takes place on the set, basically
Okay.
the lot.
Right.
I think that was because it had some good stunts as well.
Dude, you know what's funny?
I think that's like the one I keep thinking about. It's like, you know what, that wasn't that. That was a lot more fun than most of them, I think.
You instantly like rejogged my memory, because I was gonna say for this whole podcast you've been saying 5, and I'm like, let me just ask him, let me make sure it's not 4, because I thought my answer was 4.
Nah.
In the snow.
4 is in the snow in like the insane asylum.
And the whole time I was sitting here going like, oh, it's interesting he says 5, because 4 is clearly the best one. But then you reminded me of like when you said the set.
Yeah.
The problem is I couldn't picture where 4 took place, even though I remember liking it. But as soon as you said the set,
yeah.
I remembered like the bus blocking off the thing, and how fun that movie
they
was.
just ran around like they all they did was like a street. They just kept running around the same block.
That instantly, because I was able to visualize more of 5.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you. I think 5 is so far been
because
his
6
best.
was like really kind of grungy and grimy.
Yeah.
And kind of like gross.
Yeah.
Like in a way, I was like, I don't think I'd ever watch that again.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but
again, I'm no prude, but it was also one of those things. Was like, it just gave you like an icky, like a gross feeling. I was like, I don't know if I'd ever watch that type of that movie again.
So with us, how would we rank? Because this concludes the Declan O'Brien Wrong Turn trilogy. How do you stack them?
I guess probably backwards, 5, 4, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it seems like he might have gotten better as he went.
Yeah. So now that we've watched it, we can view them in the actual order.
Which is sad because 5 is still not the greatest movie, but it's like it's a bigger progression for sure.
Yeah, I think when it comes to 3, 4, 5, I think 5 is 5.
I mean, 5. Those people make some stupid ass decisions as well, but
we have 3 mutants.
Yeah, but they have 3.
We have 3. We have a cool. That's the the assault on Precinct 13 wrong turn.
It could have, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that could have happened that would have been cool, which is also.
That's the fault. That's just wrong turn. Wrong turn gives
Yeah.
you, wrong turn sets you up. Be like, wouldn't it have been cool if we did this a little better? But they still deliver. So okay, we think 5. Now, we were talking about this earlier when the movie was ending. Because this movie came out in 2009. What are some of the other movies that came out? Like we were talking about, like what's the neighborhood?
Oh yeah.
Of 2009 movie going. Like what were our options
2009,
back in 2009?
2009, what we got here? We had District 9.
Okay, which I think we can agree, great movie.
Yeah, probably like the best of that type of movie.
Right.
Well, Bastards, Inglourious Bastards.
That's so weird. We just saw that.
Yeah, we just saw that.
Whoa.
I didn't realize it was 2009.
Damn.
It's Watchmen. I mean, Watchmen was. I didn't like Watchmen, but it's still
a big movie.
had some.
I'm looking at some horror movies here. Okay,
yeah,
so,
look at horror. Orphan.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Orphan was good.
We got Drag Me to Hell.
Ooh, nice.
Did you ever see? It was just called. I think it was The Final Destination.
Yes.
That was a great one.
I forget which one that one is, but yes.
That was the one where the gymnast is on the little balance beam and a screw falls, and it goes in her head, and then she like she like scorpions and like breaks herself.
I think I do remember that one.
It's the secret. It's the secret prequel, because at the end of the movie you realize that they're on the same flight in the first one.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the movie, because that was 2009. It takes you to the end of the movie to be like, oh my god, I just realized I haven't seen any cell phones or like modern computers.
I like that series. I think that series is really underrated.
It's a great series.
Yeah.
We did an episode a while back saying what was the best fifth entry, and it was Final Destination. But I think Evil Dead Rises.
Is that
Is that 4?
3, 4?
3.
Yeah. Yeah, because
That's the fifth.
Yeah.
So Evil Dead Rise dethroned finally because that was I think the Final Destination was the best fifth entry.
Okay.
So it finally got dethroned. So it had a good run.
Because Scream 5 was the couple years ago, and Scream 5 is not very good.
No, it would have to be
in my opinion. Don't come at me.
Is that the latest one, or Scream 6 just came out?
Yeah, Scream 5 is like the first kind of like newest.
I liked Ready or Not better than Scream 5. I haven't seen Scream 6 though, which everyone's like. From what I've seen, I think they liked it a little more.
I mean, Fast 5, that's not a horror franchise, but.
Is it the best one?
The Fast 5, yeah, Fast 5 is arguably one of the best, if not the best.
Well, I think that still counts.
Does this count?
The Collector came out.
Okay.
Jennifer's Body. That one's had a little bit of a resurgence.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a great one. Let's see what else we got here. The
The
Unborn. The Hills Run Red.
Oh, that one.
What about Cabin Fever 2? You see that one?
No, I didn't.
You see Spring Fever?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Then the rest. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 came out that year.
Okay.
The House of the Devil came out 2009. That's a big one.
Zombieland did come out.
Zombieland was 2009?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good. Okay.
Why do I have to look so far down to find that one?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
I keep sliding to the right, and I keep finding big ones. Like I just went past Orphan. Oh God, Wolverine Origins came out that year.
Oof.
I remember watching that bootleg with all the not done CGI. That was bad. Okay, so the ballpark for Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead, when you look at the other horror films, is it top 5?
No.
Is it top 5? Hold on, because let's do top 5.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, let me do. Okay, we have your list. Let me just see if there's any pre-made lists here. Best horror films 2009. So we want to see if Wrong Turn can crack top 5. I don't think that's gonna. Okay, so we have Human Centipede. Okay, so House of the Devil.
House of the Devil would probably be.
Would you count Coraline? Because on any given day, I think I would.
Yeah, I mean Coraline's.
I have not seen The Collector. Oh, Best Worst Movie came out. That was great.
Ooh,
Did you ever see that? Yeah. If we want to get real dorky, we could put documentaries in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's look at it like this.
I mean, yeah.
I think I would do Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, Drag Me to Hell.
I think that takes 2009. I'd go Jennifer's Body. Okay. I was a real late bloomer to that, but I'm now I'm a believer.
Okay.
The My Bloody Valentine remake came out in 2009.
Rec 2 also came out.
I've not seen
the Rec series,
2, but
the Rec series is really good.
Oh, we should do the Rec series
because the original ones are fantastic.
I would do the Final Destination.
Final Destination, yes.
The Unborn. I keep forgetting. Is that the Jumbie Wants to Be Born Now movie?
The what?
Oh, I gotta show you. Some of our episodes. I think that's the movie. Jumbie wants to be the villain. Jumbie is trying to be born.
That sounds fantastic.
If you listen, there's a couple episodes back in the day. Just randomly, at the end, the very tail end of an episode, I would put that clip because it's a little kid going, "Jumbie wants to be born," and I was like, I wonder if anyone ever heard that. So if you have, let me know. It'd be really funny. I would probably put The Orphan.
I think
4.
Orphan is definitely there.
Let's see here.
I mean, District 9 is technically. I mean, it's sci-fi.
I mean, I would put that on the list. I mean, if we were going to be real strict buttholes about it.
Yeah, that might not. But The Box. Did you ever see The Box?
Yeah.
I love The Box.
Yeah. Is that the one with what's his name? He just died.
It's with The Box.
Is that where you press the button?
Yeah.
Someone dies. Yeah.
Cameron Diaz in The Box.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Richard Kelly's movie.
Survivors of the Dead. Didn't see that one. Oh, Daybreakers is on there. That's a good one. Daybreakers is definitely better than Wrong Turn. So no matter, even if we went with something that's not maybe the true fifth, there's enough in there.
I think we named about. Yeah.
There's enough to fill it. So Wrong Turn. I don't even know if Wrong Turn 3 would make top 10. Do you?
No, because have you seen Triangle? Triangle's 2009 as well.
No, I've always seen that poster.
That's a good one too. That's a surprising good one too. Dead Snow.
But I will say, out of all the movies we scrolled past, tell me there's not a handful in there that Wrong Turn 3 is better than.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's got, I think Wrong
I mean,
Turn...
Halloween 2, that's one of my Rob Zombie favorites.
No shit. Are you serious?
Halloween 2 is bonkers. It has the craziest shit going on. It's still not very good.
I liked his first one, but I did not like the second one.
I didn't like the first one.
I would have never guessed.
But the second one is so out of control.
I would have never guessed. Maybe we'll do an episode where I rewatch that. Maybe you can help me see the light. Maybe I can be converted to like.
Well, I have that big box set of like we just talked about Halloween.
Oh right.
And those are a part of it, so I had to sit down and watch them.
It hit the mark for you somehow.
I was like somehow this is better than the first one.
Okay.
Because it's just like the weird imagery is just like, okay, he's hitting. This is what he's doing. This is what he should be doing.
Interesting. Okay, so we'll give that a shot.
Yeah.
Wrong Turn 3's placement in 2009. It's not. I don't think it's a terrible placement.
No.
Given what else was coming out, when you have Drag Me to Hell and Jennifer's Body leading the pack, it's kind of a hard one to be in that same boxing ring. But I'm interested to see if 2 actually connects on some story level, because we haven't really gotten that before. It's always been a kind of a hot jumbled mess of like family is everything versus like this one didn't really have the whole inbred family keep it going vibe. Do you think we'll get that in 2?
We might. We get more of. Yeah, I've seen 2, but it's been a while, so I don't remember.
Okay.
How the hillbillies.
So this will be more of a big refresher.
Yeah, I just remember the kills are pretty gnarly as well.
And that one's Henry Rollins.
He's in it, yes.
Sweet.
I think there's some sort of reality show element to it as well.
Okay.
There's some sort of weird boot campy reality show type of thing.
Let's see. When was Wrong Turn 2 made? It was 2007.
Okay, 2 years.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to 2007 for.
But honestly, even looking at the list of horror movies from 2009, it's not that big of a list.
No, it's really not.
Like you guys kind of like pick and choose, like. Yeah.
Like if it like.
You could probably pick a good top 10 maybe, but that might be stretching it.
Yeah, I was trying to think like what are the next 5?
Yeah.
And I think it starts to. That's
where you go. Well, District 9 and Best Worst Movie, they count.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, that's. And when you have Best Worst Movie taking your place,
yeah,
that should be rightfully yours, and I think that's cause for concern.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go to Wrong Turn 2, and then I'm very excited to revisit Wrong Turn 1. Mm-hmm. How funny it would be if we got to Wrong Turn 1, like it just doesn't hold up. Like,
we'd be like 5 still.
Yeah, do we? Okay, how close to 5 do you think it is? I feel like 1 is a completely different beast, completely from what I remember. And I did rewatch that long ago, but man, I could be wrong. I don't know.
I think it's a completely different. Yeah,
it's gonna. Be...
I remember it being very serious. Like a very serious, dark, like straightforward movie with realistic effects and characters that seemed somewhat like people.
Right. Right.
Doing things that some people would do.
I'll be interested to see how we compare.
I remember the giant trees, though. I remember them climbing through the trees because they were so big.
Oh yeah, they're ginormous.
It's giant trees. Everybody's just like
it's Appalachia. Appalachia. How the trees have been growing for a while, forever. They're going to be the size they are. Yeah. Like the California, those ones up north in California, that size. Well, I'm excited to go there. I'm excited to see if it connects, how we like it. I think these 3 are their own beast.
Yeah, you got the first 3, and then you got 4, 5. I mean 6 even. I guess 4, 5, and then 6, 7 are kind of like.
Yeah, that's kind of how
6, 7 are kind of just like, let's try this. That's
kind of how I've paired them in my head. So I'm excited to see how this fares out.
I enjoy when movies are just like, you know what, I'm just gonna start from the beginning.
Right.
I'm gonna be a sequel to the first movie.
Because why not? Who's gonna stop?
Yeah, I want somebody to be like, I want the sequel to the 3rd movie. I'm just gonna go from there.
Just start just gonna clean my hands and start. and start fresh.
Like if somebody wants to do a new Halloween movie, be like, I'm gonna do Halloween. I'm gonna start with Halloween 3 and then go from there. I'm like,
That's a great place. That's a great place to end it. I want to know because I am so fascinated with your. I don't know if you're enamored. Would you say you're enamored with Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
I guess.
I want to know.
It's better than Halloween 3, and that might be a sacrilege, but
well,
I'm not
it is.
3.
Yeah.
I watch it every year. I'm always like, this year, and then like the first half, I'm like, I but then at some point, I'm just like, no.
Listen. As long as you're willing to keep giving it a shot.
I love the masks. I love all that stuff, but like,
time will get you.
Yeah,
we'll get you
eventually.
We'll get you there eventually.
Yeah. On my deathbed, I'll be like, finally, I get it.
You'll go trick or treating
yes,
with the kids,
yes.
and then you'll be like, oh, I get it.
I get it.
I get it now.
I want them to put masks on and have their faces.
So what I want to know, and this is the comment challenge for this week. 5 stars on iTunes, that's a given. Follow us on Spotify, 5 stars there. But in the comments on the iTunes, give me your hot take on Halloween 2. The Rob Zombie Halloween 2, because I didn't care for it. Trevor apparently really liked it, but I like the first one. I think that's interesting. That's so interesting because is it the backstory that drags on too long?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate the backstory.
It does go on for a while. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
But second half.
Michael Myers is not some like angry like bullied fat kid. Like I know. No, I'm sorry.
He might be. You don't know.
I mean, I feel your pain. I was there, but like, no.
Well, the second half is great, and I have a soft spot for the first one's special features because I used to watch it was back in the day when you'd watch all the special features.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Rob Zombie on set, and I remember him pointing and going, "More cobwebs here," and I was like, "That's the job I want. That sounds great. Just walk on set and be like." More cobwebs, man. That's beautiful.
That's a director.
I want that. So let us know in the comments what your take on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is. So until then, stay scared, watch what horror movie. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
May I have your attention, please?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I don't know what real anymore.
Horror. Something even more terrible than you.